Alrighty, how's it going, everybody? This is Omar Thabit here from MotivateMe313, and today I am live with Samantha Fowke. She is the lead/ELA teacher at Hanley International Academy, middle school lead/ELA teacher at Hanley International Academy. I call her the general because she says things and gets things done no matter what the circumstance may be. So first of all, thank you, Ms. Fowke, for doing this interview. I really do appreciate having you.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Definitely, and schools are definitely a hot topic around the whole country. A lot of different opinions going around. So what I wanted to do was speak to someone that is in the lead, that kind of understands a lot of the stuff that's happening in this school and a lot of schools that's happening across the state and country. So to help people that maybe eventually want to watch, to see okay, they kind of have an expectation of what to expect, from schools this at least coming fall. So my first question to you, Ms. Fowke, though, is can you tell us about yourself?
Yeah, so Samantha is my first name. I have been teaching for 9 years. This is my 9th year. I've been at Hanley my entire teaching career, so I love it here. I am the ELA teacher and the middle school department head, so I help all of the middle school teachers with scheduling, planning, behavior, anything that's going on. I am working currently on my master's in educational leadership through Grand Valley, so I have 1 more year of that. I'm starting my internship year right now so that I can hopefully move into a principal or assistant principal role. And at home I have 3 kids and my husband and my family, so I love them. I spend a lot of time with them when I'm not worried about school or working.
Awesome, and we already have someone commenting, and his name is Zach Thabit, and he says, that's my favorite teacher. So he just wanted to make sure, he made sure that he wanted to mention that, so he wanted to share that with us. So thank you for sharing that, though, Ms. Fowke. So my next question, we're getting right into it. So what will school look like in the fall here at Hanley International Academy? And then can you maybe compare it to what you have heard maybe from different schools, too?
Yeah. So the goal right now is to give everybody a sense of normal back. School is going to be exactly what you would get out of it if we were here in the building. The difference is we're doing it from cameras. So we're going to ask that students are getting up every day and getting ready just like they were coming to school. You are going to have a normal school day schedule where you see your teacher, you're in meetings with them, you have math and reading and science and social studies on a schedule just like you would if you're in the building. You're going to have support teachers, language teachers, encore, gym and music and technology teachers who all are there to help you and all part of your schedule every day. And from what I've seen, every district is doing that. My daughter's district she's virtual as well, and she's going to have a schedule where she has her math teacher and a reading teacher and all of those things just the same. And that's our goal. We want it to feel like you're going to school every day. In the spring, everyone kind of just got thrown into doing the best with what they could, and now we've had time to prepare and to bring that back and to get back on a normal schedule and figure out how to support you from home while still feeling like you're in the school and you're getting a normal routine out of your day.
Thank you for mentioning that. I know a lot of parents out there kind of still have question marks, even though school's starting. School has started. For some schools is going to start this Monday, and almost all schools will be starting after Labor Day weekend. So thank you for sharing that information. So, parents, you hear, I know you see the posts, every parent, wondering, what do I do? So, coming from a teacher, what advice would you give parents about online learning and how they can assist their children?
Yeah, so I have 2 things that I think are really important. First of all, this is new for everybody. So everybody, just like we're going to have some grace and some understanding with kids at home, we ask that you do the same for teachers. The best thing we can do is just communicate with each other, talk about what we're struggling with or what you could use help with, what do you need from your teacher, because every kid is in a different situation, and we won't know if there's something that is hard or going wrong if we don't talk to each other. So first piece of advice, talk to your student's teacher. As much as you can, that's going to be the best thing you can do to support them. Second piece of advice, set them up for a school day. So find a place in your house where they can sit with their computer and their school supplies and their pencils and their crayons and have that space every day. That's going to be routine. Just like they would have a desk in the classroom with all of their stuff in their space. Recommendations would be to set them with their back to the wall so that if they're on a meeting, there's not things going on behind them. Have them maybe a bucket or a bin where they can have all their school supplies ready to go every day, and then at the end of the day they can put their stuff back in their bucket. That's going to help them. them stay organized. It's going to help them feel like this is their workspace, just like their desk at school, and that's going to help them be more productive and be more engaged in class.
See, this is information that I really hope that people definitely watch and listen to, because this is big, very important information, and it's going to just help the kids out and make them feel like they're in a classroom in a way, even though they're at home. So going from parents, what advice would you give students about online learning? Now, I know this is not their first go-around, but it's the beginning of a new year. So what advice would you give them?
Yeah, it's not the first time, but it is the first time we're doing things a little bit more structured. So in the fall or in the spring, we were a little bit more free with everything. Now we're going to be more on a daily schedule. So you have to be in charge as a student, especially older students, of setting your alarm, getting to class on time, being aware of what time it is if you have to be back in a Google Meet with a different teacher at another time. So practice those things. Get your alarm set. Learn how to use the technology and ask your teachers if you need help with that. Just like it's important for parents to communicate, it's important for kids to communicate as well. If you sit there and you don't ever speak up in class, we won't know if you need something. So it's going to be an adjustment for everybody. It's weird for me to stare at a screen all day too, but we're going to do it together. And again, if we don't talk to each other, we won't know what we can do to help each other.
Okay, and just want to throw this out there. Hamza Thabit just said best teacher as well. You got the Thabits back, I can tell you that. So wanted to share that, but thank you for that as well. And then he said, Zach, you should be writing this stuff down. So he's talking to Zach right now too. And then my last one is, there might be teachers that watch this as well, and some teachers kind of struggle with this as well, and kind of like mentally, maybe not even with the analytical stuff, but just mentally. So I guess, what advice would you give teachers about online learning?
I think for teachers, it's going to be important to use your peers. For everybody, this is my 9th year teaching. This is my first year teaching fully online right now. So this is new for everybody. We need to count on each other. We need to talk to each other about what our strengths are. There's certain things that I'm great at and I can help with all day long, and there's certain things I know I need help with. And so finding that community of teachers who you can work together with and you can ask for help. Don't drown yourself in not knowing what's going on or how to succeed. Talk to each other, set yourself up the best way you can by having that support system so that we can work together.
Awesome. Working together. I mean, if you guys didn't get like the whole point of everything, is basically parents, students, teachers. We all need to work together to make this happen. That's kind of what I've got out of all those 3 answers, basically.
It really is.
Yeah. So definitely. So for someone that's watching this video, they could just tell off of just this interview, you have a passion for teaching. You go to school, you got your master's now, and just in the education field in general. So, why? Like, what makes you so passionate about teaching and being in the education department?
I think for me, it's having the ability to help somebody feel successful. So I really enjoy working with kids and with adults. The more that I am in this position as a lead and the more I work with teachers as a mentor, I find that I like helping people feel successful. So I feel the same with kids. If I can be a part in you doing something that you're proud of, if I can be a part of you having a really great day as a teacher and then feeling like I supported you in that, for me, that's what I enjoy the most. So I love reading, which is why I think ELA is exactly where I'm supposed to be. I love the idea of having a kid find a book that they're passionate about and want to talk about. But for me, more than what you're learning, more than the curriculum or 2 + 2 is 4, it's seeing that you got excited because you did a good job and you learned something new, and that can go for both students and adults.
Awesome. And Zach, by the way, said Miss Fowke, I missed that whiteboard. With how many times you've seen your name on this whiteboard, Zach, I don't think I would be missing it, sir. My next question to you is, I guess it's more of like personal stuff. So it's like, what gets you up every morning? It's questions that I asked all my guests. So what gets you up every morning?
Currently, it's my kids because they think that they don't need an alarm clock. They are up before my alarm every day. 2 of my kids are under 3 years old, and so, little kids are on their own timeline, their own schedule. But I love my family. I get up every day to spend time with them, even on the days where we haven't slept and we're tired. That makes the most sense for me. And I love coming to work every day, to have that sense of community. I really love routines and schedules, and some people would think I'm crazy for that, but for me, knowing what's consistent and what's going to happen every day and how things are going to go, that's how I thrive. So yeah, that to me is exactly what gets me up every day.
Awesome, and I could definitely agree with you that I love the consistency of the day and knowing what I got to do. Coming here makes me even work like with everything all around, just kind of, it gives me a
Work little
schedule.
harder and know
Yeah,
what you have to get done every day.
exactly. And then my last question that I have here is for someone who may be walking in the same or similar footsteps as you, what advice would you give them? Motivate me.
So I think if you're already going into teaching or you want to go into teaching, you're probably passionate about kids and about helping people. So my advice is actually to find what you're good at in there. There's going to be things in the career of education that you're not good at, and that's okay. But figure out what it is you're good at and that what you enjoy doing and run with that. For me personally, it's scheduling and routines and supporting adults behind the scenes. And if I can do that every day, I'm enjoying that every day, I know I'm going to be good at that every day, I have a successful career. So figure out what that is for you. If you are great with behavior and you love helping kids work through a bad day, go and run with that. Figure out what it is you're passionate about, that you're good at, and that you're going to thrive in, and you're going to do well in your career.
And it's great advice because when you're passionate about something, you're going to give it your best and your all. So that's why it's important. And then my final one is just, do you have any words or advice out there for anybody that might watch anything with all the stuff that's going on, and, your kids that might eventually watch this, students that might eventually watch this, might not even be from the school. Any advice you want to give people out there, anything?
I think the best thing right now is just to cut everybody some slack. This is new, online school is new, regardless of the fact that we're 6 months in, this pandemic is new, none of us have lived through this before. So just be understanding, give people a little bit of grace, and be patient with each other, but again, talk to each other. Nobody knows you're having a hard time or you need a little extra support if you don't speak up, and that goes for adults and for kids. And I think that's the best thing you can do right now to understand the situation we're in and the new environment we're about to be in with teaching and learning online.
That is awesome. It's definitely times of uncertainty, so it's very important to be patient and communicate with one another. More important maybe than more than ever. So thank you again, Ms. Fowke. This is Samantha Fowke. For those didn't get in from the beginning, this is Samantha Fowke, middle school lead/ELA teacher at Hanley International Academy. Thank you again for doing this interview, and for those that watch or will eventually watch, hope you guys learned something or a few things.
Thank you.
Have a great one.